All right, guys. So today we're going to go over aftercare instructions and what to look for and what you should and should not do. Now, the way that I'm going to describe this today, and I'm going to try to keep this very, very simple. I'm going to put this into three main categories. The first category is the old tried and true method that a lot of people still like to use, and there's some cons and pros to that, but that's basically we'll just say do nothing category. Basically, in this, what you're going to do is you're going to go get your tattoo and you're just going to try to keep it clean. You're not going to do anything to the tattoo absolutely at all. A lot of people refer to this as dry healing. Now, me personally, I have some opinions on this. I don't think this is the best method. However, I don't think necessarily that there's anything wrong with it for certain people. If you know your body, you know your skin type, and you know that you can keep the tattoo clean, and that that when you get your tattoo, there's not certain complications that may arise that you need to to be aware of because your skin is clean and healthy, and you stay hydrated, and there's not excess trauma to the tattoo that was done. Then maybe maybe this is fine for you. Now, I'm not going to go into crazy detail about that because that is not what I recommend. What I recommend is one of the other two categories. Now, in these two categories, what I like to refer to them as is the old school method and the new school method, right? And that's just my personal terminology for this, but in these two categories, the old school method, which also is perfectly fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. Basically, in this category, what you're going to do is you're going to take your tattoo as for the days progress following the actual procedure, and you're going to wash the tattoo, preferably with non-scented antibacterial soap with water that is not under extreme pressure, as often as you can every day. That's the first step. The reason I say non-scented antibacterial soap is because some people, this is an open wound. So some people, if they get scented lotions or scented soaps or soaps with like exfoliating properties or things like this to it, then it can cause more problems to arise. Whether that be like excess inflammation or whatever, it could bother the wound. Let's keep it simple. Okay. So we want to avoid that, and that's super simple. The best thing out there for that is to go get the really cheap bar or bottle of like dial non-scented antibacterial soap. The way that you'll wash your tattoo, preferably in this method, is you'll take and you'll go to your shower or when preferably, or your sink or whatever it is that you're using to wash it with, and you'll get some cold or lukewarm water, not steaming hot, because you don't want excess inflammation again on the skin. And let's pretend that the tattoo's on the top of your arm. What you're then going to do is you're going to wash your hands first, so that way your hands are clean. And then you're going to take and you're going to get some of the non-scented antibacterial soap. You're going to wet the area. You're going to lather up your hands first with the soap. You're going to very, very gently apply the soap in a circular motion, moving outwards to the outer area. The concept here is if there is any germs, you want to push them out to the edges of the tattoo area. And then once you've got it good and lathered up with soap, then you're going to take some water. I try to tell people to use like a cup or something for the first couple of days. Instead of like holding your hand directly up under the faucet and washing it off, you want to take and you want to drizzle take the cup of water and pour it over the area. The reason I'm saying this, and it's not that it's most definitely going to occur, it's just a possibility that if the water is under too much pressure and the skin is still open, right, for the first couple of days while the top layer of skin is repairing itself, then what can actually happen is that water can get down inside the skin and it can mix with the inks, and that dilutes the inks, will cause it to fade, essentially, right? And you don't want that to happen. And then after you're done, when you get all the soap off of the area, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to take and you're going to turn off the water, obviously, dry your hands, and you're going to take something preferably as a non-abrasive, but say like a soft towel or hand towel or napkin or whatever it may be, and you're going to pat dry the area. Or you're going to just allow it to dry in the open air around you. Now, the reason I'm saying that you're going to pat dry it or allow it to dry in the open area around you is because you do not want to use anything abrasive and scrub it dry, because that excess friction can cause problems that you don't want to occur, simply put. especially as you get further along down the healing process when the top layer of skin is truly repairing and you're starting to have the new skin forming and or like the scabs, which you do not want to come off. Because if there's scabs on there and you pull the scabs off prematurely and do not allow them to fall off naturally, sometimes ink will come with it. Okay, so you want, if there's any scabs, you want them to fall off prematurely. So you want to be like use non-abrasive materials with it, or be very, very gentle. Aside from the actual washing of it, which, like I said, you can do that. Do not be scared to wash your tattoo. Some people are scared. Don't be scared. You can wash your tattoo as much and as often as you want to, as long as you're doing it in the appropriate manner. Past that, then you want to apply, preferably, a ointment for the next few days. The ointment of choice, this is very, very important. You do not want to use things that are not designed for the healing of a tattoo, except for a few exceptions. Now, the common things that a lot of people will put on there, which is very bad for it, would be like Vaseline. Vaseline's horrible for it. Chapstick, believe it or not, it's horrible for it. Triple antibiotics, Neosporin. And many of these products are very, very, very bad for the tattoos. What I recommend personally, just to keep things extremely simple, is either A&D ointment, which you could find anywhere, like usually in the baby sections, like at Walmart or whatever. A&D ointment works great. Aquifer is another one that I like personally, that I've seen great results with clients. Aquifer works great. Or you can go out and you can purchase a product that is specifically designed for this purpose. Like, for example, Tattoo Goo. Tattoo Goo is something that's been around for many, many years. It's tried and true and tested. It works great. These products work absolutely phenomenal. There's nothing wrong with them. The one thing that I will say with any of these products across the board is that whenever you're applying them, that's what's critical. So you want to apply them in a very clean and sterile manner, preferably. Like what I like to recommend people to do is go buy like a little baggie of tongue depressors, right? Take one of the tongue depressors, scoop a little bit of the ointment out, and apply it on the area, right? Once you get it on the area, then you're actually going to scrape it off gently now. Very, very, very gently. That's key. But scrape a little bit of that top layer off, because all you really truly need, and of course then, throw away the tongue depressor. Always use the tongue depressor so there's never cross-contamination. A new one every time, and they're super cheap. But the key to that, with whatever ointment you choose, is that you need it super, super thin layers on your arm. Because the thinner the layer, the more oxygen can pass through, right? And we do not trap bacteria between the ointment and your skin. We don't want that to happen. Depending on the heat outside and the product that you're using and the humidity and all that, if you are able to, depending on your lifestyle, you should and would want to reapply these ointments multiple times a day, sometimes 3 or 4, depending on these factors, sometimes as much as 6 or 8 times, depending on the size of the tattoo, humidity, and all these other factors, right? So the main thing is just to apply these ointments as needed. Now, that is for the first stage of this, right? So what I mean by the first stage is that once you get the tattoo, the top layer of skin is damaged, simply put. Now, over the next few days, your body is going to start repairing that skin. So this is the stage that you'll be using this method. Now, after all the scabs have fell off, right, and they're completely naturally have removed themselves from your body, and you don't see any of the pilling and stuff occurring anymore, after that stage, it's pretty safe to say that that top layer of skin has repaired itself. So from then on, after that, you can use, for however long you deem necessary, you can use whatever your choice of lotion preferred is. So let's, like cocoa butter, people love cocoa butter, shea butter, whatever it may be. It's not going to hurt the tattoo, but the main key here at this point, and you can wash it normally at that point too as well, just like when you're taking a shower like you normally would with your normal soaps, because the top layer of skin has repaired itself. You just want to keep the area of that skin moisturized. So that way, over the next couple weeks, the rest of the repair process, the things that you can't so much visually see that still is occurring, it just kind of helps the process with your skin being moisturized, right? After that, though, say a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks or more, depending on the severity of the trauma to the tattoo, you might not need to do any of this anymore absolutely at all. Most people tend to find in the first 10 to 15 days, the main process is over with and they can go on with their normal life. Now, this brings me to the third category, which is my preferred method of use for the tattoo aftercare. There's products out there And I'm not going to go into a complete like in description to try to break them down to what they are exactly. But what I will do is I'll show you a piece of one, right? So this product is a product that is based off of Tegaderm or Sanoderm. You can look these up. There's other ones like Derma Shield, and a bunch of other like manufacturers make these products. But essentially, in a nutshell, they're for the most part the same thing, right? What will happen is if you choose to go this route, and or your artist of choice, which we do, we apply this on you before you leave, right? You'll leave this product on for 24 hours, the first piece. Leave it on for 24 hours. You can shower with this and everything. You go about your daily life. It's great. You don't have to worry about it absolutely at all. You just leave it on for 24 hours. And then sometime during the next day, you're going to want to pull this piece off. You're going to take and wash and dry the area very good. This is crucial. You do not want to have any residue of soaps or water or anything up under it whenever you apply the fresh piece of the bandage, because it needs to be very dry. You do not want anything up under this. So wash the area with antibacterial non-scented soap one time, dry it very good. Once it's very dry, immediately reapply a fresh piece of this product. This product will stay on from then, I recommend 5 days. It's designed to stay on for a week, but I always say 5 days to play it safe. Then after 5 days, you'll pull the product off, wash and dry the tattoo, and then from there, usually most people find that they're good to go. They don't have to do anything after that. This speeds up the recovery process, in my opinion, from what I've seen. This definitely works the best for most people. Now, if you get to that, say that 5th day of the second piece, and you find that there's still a little bit of irritation of scabbing or whatever it may be, and you just want to reapply a fresh piece for a few more days, just even if it's just to make you feel better, that is perfectly okay. Then you'll repeat the process though. You'll take and you'll wash and dry with non-scented antibacterial soap the area. You'll dry it very good, like I just described, and reapply a fresh piece. And that fresh piece can also stay on for up to 5 days if you want to. Usually most people don't find the necessity to do that, but some people do, or they choose to. The one thing I will say about this though, is that there are some people out there that when they apply this, I think it's due to the adhesive, if I had to take a guess, but they'll notice that they'll have like a little rash form. Like let's say this tattoo right here, this dove on my arm, and let's say it was fresh and they applied a fresh piece over it. You might not notice on the actual tattoo itself, but around the area in the extra skin, you'll notice a little bit of that red rash forming. Now, this, if it's really bad, obviously just take it off and then start taking and contact your artist or us if we did the tattoo, and we could direct you from there, right? I will say though, I have some clients that they have a little bit of that occur every time they use this, but they find the healing process to be so fast and so smoother, and that the tattoos heal up more vibrant, the darks are darker, just the process is just so much easier. They still choose to use this method. You may not find it to be the case for you, or you might. It's totally up to you. I always tell people that you know your body best. So the last thing I will say about the aftercare process is that if at any point in time, and I mean any point in time, of course during regular business hours preferred, but any point in time, if you have any questions, any concerns, any worries, anything absolutely at all, do not, and I repeat this, please do not hesitate to reach out to your artist and ask them, because that is what we are here for. The tattoo process doesn't end whenever you leave our shop. It ends whenever the tattoo is completely healed and all your worries and concerns are over. It is our job to stick with you and stick by your side throughout the entire process. And if the artist is genuinely doing their job, they will not mind. And I promise you, most don't. We definitely don't. So that's the conclusion of this. If there's any other things that you have questions about, aside from the topics and things that I covered in this video, let us know, and we can always direct you at places, whether we sell the products or we can direct you at the appropriate places to buy these products. And of course, we can always go back over how to use these if need be. And so that's the conclusion of today's aftercare video. And we'll make a series of other videos to cover other worries and tips and tricks. So look for them in this playlist on this channel as we provide them. As always, stay awesome and God bless.